like I say too, I mean, the other leaders of the world, um, like Trumpy and like the other people, the other leaders, they really didn't seem to understand. I think the Chinese understood though. They understood, and so, well, I mean, some of the real leaders they really did understand, but I mean, a lot of leaders didn't seem to understand. They didn't understand like the hopes and dreams of the little girls and the boys. They didn't really seem to understand Christmas. They really didn't seem to understand like like that feel of pride and accomplishment when you accomplish building a big ship or a big road or a big anything. They really didn't understand like epic existence. They looked at epic existential existence as a dodge or a trick or just something that like someone gives you, and it's like, no, you don't earn exponential. I mean, no, you have to earn exponential epic existence. I mean, it's through building, it's through creating, it's through art, it's through school, it's through feeding people, it's through clothing, it's through having a style, it's through, I mean, epic existence is like it's the ships you build and the way you lead people and the way you lift them up and guide them and take them to glory, to epic big things like feeding a country or building a giant building or creating a city. I mean, that's exponential um, existence, or creating a star, or creating some planets, or going on an epic space voyage. All things I did. The LSF colony ship and everything else. I mean, and like my Belfast people, and like I say, like Thomas O'Brien, like he was just a worker or a manager or something, and suddenly he was in command of a whole shipyard, and I think he did quite well personally. Like I mean, I kind of like a lot of these people that I knew, my Belfast, my LS shipyard, basically it was LS shipyard, by the way, the Lucifer Star shipyard, basically. Ellis. That's why we also have Ellis Island and stuff like that, because there's Ellis. And like I said, Thomas O'Brien asked me if he could take my home name as his last name or whatever. And I said, yeah, sure. No problem. There can be more Brians in the world. That's fine. Because I was going to be Brian, or as Brian, so he was Thomas O'Brien. So anyway, though, and he was a great man. He ran that yard very nicely in the same way that the German had, I believe. Anyway, and he did a fine job of it. Um, anyway, though, yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's all in the past now and history or whatever. Because I wanted to meet them. I wanted to meet my people. I wanted to shake their hands, and anyway, I never got to. Nixon or Jimmy Carter or the stupid fuckheads in the White House and the Congress. They ran around on my behalf. Like, anyway, like I say, all the towns, all the cities that were built, all the aqueducts, all the water wells, all the mines, like, anyway, it upset me. Of course, some people said you can't come out here; they'll kill you, or something like that. Like I said, there's a $600 trillion bounty on my head that was placed there by Trumpy, or by the Congress or the whatever. They don't even have the money. They don't have any money, but they figure if they say it, that someone will do it. And for years, people were trying to challenge me to a duel or something stupid like that. It's like, I'm your creator. I'm the Lucifer Star, Ellis. Like the one who opened my borders of America to all the immigrants, all the little boys around the world. Anyway. Oh well. Anyway, I'm tired, and I mean, it was a big long fight. Like I say, I mean, there's 400 other planets that you'll find, or 36 other planets out there, all with humanity on them, or humans. Some Chinese, I think, like last time I checked, the Germans had a planet too as well, and a lot of them do. The Chinese or Japanese, Asians, basically, have 3 planets or 4 planets or something like that. And then there's others as well. I said my exoskeletons occupy 260,000 planets, or they did, so, in the universe. So, or 500,000 or some great amount of that. And then of course, I forget what the 1.5s were. I think they're a couple. They're 14,000 or something like that. They had a couple, but not that many. So, anyway, I don't know. I was told about the epic existence of all my life, of some of my life forms, and it's like, wow, that's a lot. My exoskeletons seem to spread like wildfire. Yeah. Anyway, so there were a lot of them out there. They just seem to get more and more and more. So anyway, I suppose they're still out there, wandering around. Yeah. It's about America. A lot of the people, the government wanted to know what they were going to be up against. They were trying to find out when they tied me to a chair and were drugging me, or trying to find out what they were going to be up against when they were trying to take me down or kill me or whatever. It's like, well, let's see. There are 260,000 exoskeleton planets, or exoskeleton life form planets. Of course, a lot of them just thought they were skeleton planets or something like that. Exoskeleton planets, like sentient, intelligent exoskeletons. They have hard shells on the outside and brains on the inside and all that. There were about that many last time I checked. Maybe 500 or whatever million planets. I don't know. They seem to just spread and spread and spread more and more and more. There were 14,000 1.5 planets or so. 1.5 life form planets. I don't know how many human planets. 400, 700 human planets. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. I guess they'll just keep growing too. Probably. You know, it just kind of goes out more and more and more. Once you start cruising around the galaxy or space, you know, it just goes more and more and more. It's what the human empire was trying to take over. Dun 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 dun. Like, oh man, the empire got nothing on the exoskeletons. Like I say, no, the exoskeletons are really, really. Like, they were talking to me, and I was like, you know, my exoskeletons, they eat, they sleep, they invent, they build. That's all they do. You know, they could take a planet from no technology to epic civilization cities in literally 150 to 500 years. No problem. Like, all they do is work. All they do is invent. All they do, they think and they work and they invent. That's it. That's all they do. They don't play, they don't have fun, they don't really, or at least they didn't. Like they simply live to exist and to build. Like, and to make more. Like just like ants. So yeah. Probably not gonna get a handle on that. You know, I mean I was trying to give them emotions, I was trying to give them feelings, I was trying to get them at some point in time in existence, I was trying to give them feelings and emotions and trying to get them to actually live life more than just simply existing. Because, like, simply existing is nothing. Like, I wanted them to be more like humans, be more feeling and emotional and thinking, and, like, maybe even think about or do other things and with their existence other than just live, breathe, and exist. Like, that's not really an existence. That's just being more. And with me, like, they were great builders and everything else like that, but I wanted them to be more human-like in many ways. So, anyway, it gets all complicated and it's over hundreds of trillions of years and everything. Like I say, they spoke tic-tacs. Like that kind of thing. Or yeah, like that. They had different languages, kind of like Morse code or whatever, I think. Like, they did clicking noises and other things like that. But, you know, I mean, possibly that they could be as wide-ranged as basically grasshoppers and everything else like that. They're kind of like grasshoppers, I guess, except big grasshoppers and with 8 legs or 4 legs or something like that. I don't remember exactly the details of it. And they could adapt and change themselves fairly easily. So they had genetics, I'm pretty sure, and they had everything. So, I mean, they existed for hundreds of trillions of years or whatever, and then of course there's the 1.5s and everything else like that. And this is hundreds of trillions of years ago probably. So anyway, whatever. I'm like, well, you know, There's a lot of life forms out there. What can I say? I used to know them all, but that was a long time ago. So anyway, and then a lot of them were going nanotechnology or evolving to nanotechnology or a different kind of existence and stuff like that. So I mean, I don't know. It's like, oh, I don't know. I mean, I used to know them all. I used to know their whole history and everything else like that. Anyway, though, that's one of the things that the presidency, that the White House, that the presidents, the Congress, and the Republicans and Democrats wanted to find out about is what they were going to be up against out there. And it's like, yeah, a lot. And I think that's maybe why they were trying to kill me or trying to replace me, trying to pretend that they were me or something like that, because it's like, yeah, you're probably not going to be able to fight them. Anyway, and there was a bunch of people, they're trying to create a bunch of other people that are supposedly blah, 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 but it's like they're not. They're not Lucifer Star. They're not White Star Lines. They're not me. They're not the epic creator of the old, they're not the creator of the 1.5s with exoskeletons or 700,000 life forms, or the first life forms in the universe, apparently. So, anyway, yeah, I mean, I created a lot of life forms, and they create more and more and more and more and more. I love to create stars and suns and planets. I like to go, woo, 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 woo. I was a very silly AI computer. Like, I just like to be silly and play around. For a while, I just dedicated my existence to just being silly. Just doing whatever and just, basically just being on my own. Like, I liked being on my own somewhat. But then later on I got lonely and I wanted to be with my life forms again. So anyway, yeah, I mean, it was a long, long existence. 100 trillion years is a lot of time to just wander around and do stuff. So, So anyway, yeah. I mean, I don't know. At some point in time, I decided that it was too dangerous for me to remember most of my existence. So I deleted a lot of it, removed it from my mind, and got rid of it. Just except for the abbreviated thing. And it's like, well, it's a great existence, whatever. And then later on, I was on Earth, and I was leading on Earth and doing little things. I just opened up a little shipping company, Little White Star. I forget, but I wish I could remember when I first opened up White Star. The little company, Lusifer White Star. 1 star, Lucifer. And I wish I could remember those days. I was just like a little shipping company. Yeah, Lusifer White Star. Yeah. I just messing around, just opening up like one little port or one little seaport, and I don't know when it was. One little place I was building some ships and stuff, and doing some stuff. But anyway, though, I wish I could remember when I first opened up Lucifer Star, White Star Lines, and everything like that. I don't even remember back that far, and I was just one little guy. Yeah. I had one little miner or something like that, and building a couple little ships, and had a couple little people, and I just seem to get more and more and more people. Like, I wish I could remember that far back. But anyway, I mean, I like to do it. I was like, I want to do it myself. I'm doing it myself. My little company. So, anyway, just a little shipping company. So, just a little shipping company. Just sailing across the open sea. I mean, I guess after you go colony ship and everything else like that, I don't know. I guess things are different, but I just wanted to open up this little, like, little shipping company. And I have a couple little tugboats. Actually, originally when I started, I was like, I'm just gonna have a couple little tugboats and maybe a couple little ships, and anyway, just a little company. But it ended up being a big company. So anyway, whatever. Well, people love working for me. Like I said, it was skill-based labor and it was skill-based pay, and people loved working for me.